Hi, good morning. We are group number 32 and we are here for the presentation. Our topic is monopolistic competition and oligopoly market. Our group member are Bipul, that is me, Choru and Olivia. Unfortunately, Olivia couldn't attend the presentation because she is sick, but she has made a contribution to this presentation. So in this presentation, we are going to talk about the monopoly market and oligopoly market and how they impact the Australian market. So a monopolistic market is understood as the market where only one or two firms offer their products and services to the customers, but the opportunity of product substitution is very low or absent. In Australia, retail giants like Coles, Telstra, and Australian Post are leading in market. 4.1% of the GDP is from the retail and contribution to 10.7% of the Australian employment. There are four major types of differentiation that has made their market monopolistic, and they are product differentiation, marketing differentiation, human capital differentiation, and differentiation in the distribution of goods and services. The physical product process in the Australian retail industry is effectuated by the process of the size, shape, design, performance, and color of the retail products. For instance, it has been observed that the consumer electronics from the electronic retail can be physically differentiated. However, in terms of marketing differentiation, the retail firms of the Australia differentiate their products by several distinctive packages as well as some promotional techniques. Human capital differentiation, on the other hand, is mostly applied by the retail firms are realized in terms of the differences with respect through the training sessions like received by the employees and other distinctive uniforms. Clothing retails, food retail, all the other retail firms under the Australian retail industry use the differentiation in human capital for their goods and services. Lastly, differentiation through the distribution includes the distribution with the mail order, internet shopping from different online sites, etc. As the competition and rivalry between the traditional stores and online selling stores of the retail firms continues, the differentiation occurs via distribution. In this slide, we're going to talk about the maximization of profits by the retail firms. They can enjoy the economies of scale. Also, it tends to higher the profit of the firms. In the short run, all the firms enjoy super normal profits, as only limited number of firms exists in the industry. But in the long run, when other firms with good knowledge and opportunity of the industry get attracted towards the industry, they enter the industry with the object of the profit making. As from the figure, we can see that the profit maximizing condition for the firm is marginal cost equals to marginal revenue. In the short run equilibrium of the retail firms, in the figure, the firms capture the profit given by the area of the rectangle of CPAB. At this level of profit, the price of the goods and services is OP. The output level is OQ and the cost of the production is OC. AR is the demand curve of the firms. When the new firms enter the retail industry, the demand for the goods and services of the existing firms become more elastic. In that case, the demand curve will shift towards left and also lowers the price level for the firms, and all the supernormal profit will be eroded away. To continue the presentation, I would like to call our group member Charu.
Thank you, Bipul. This is Charu. Now I would like continue the presentation forward. Manufacturing sector and oligopoly in Australia. The manufacturing sector of Australia follows the oligopolistic market structure, and a very small number of firms dedicate the whole market. The reason is that there is no free entry and exit for the firms in the industry. The barriers for the free entry and exit is that all the firms do not possess same amount of financial resources as they needed to enter in the market, and there are also some particular governmental rules and regulation and patent system for the firms in the industry. The manufacturing firms in Australia are Woolworth, Coles, Bridgestone, Carlton United, Kellogg's and Deluxe. All the firms tend to adopt identical prices for the identical goods and services as they avoid price wars. Market share of pharmaceutical manufacturing firms. Now let's talk about the market shares of the pharmaceutical manufacturing firms. Taking the example of pharmaceutical industries, in this sector the firms share more or less same amount of market share in the industry. As the firm compete with respect to the sales level in the industry, that is why the selling output of them is almost identical. There does not exist price war in the market, and all the firms have full knowledge regarding the production decision of one another. Now let's talk about the equilibrium in oligopoly market for manufacturing products. Here we have a figure, and now I would like to describe about the figure in brief. Here the price of the product charged by the firm is OP amount as shown in the figure. Amount and the output level with respect to that is OQ amount as shown in the figure itself. The firm make profit of the amount given by the area of rectangular A, B, C and D as shown in the figure. Here the market demand curve is King's demand curve, and the marginal revenue received by the oligopolistic firms is represented by the MR, that is marginal revenue curve in the firm as shown in the figure. Okay, now let's talk about the oligopoly in Australian banking sectors. Another example is banking sector in Australia that is dominated by 4 major institutions. These institutions together are responsible for contributing over 85% of domestic home loan value. Commonwealth Bank, National Australia Bank and Westpac Bank, New Zealand Banking Group are the groups of bank. The banking sector of Australia does not allow the free entry and exit for the firms in the industry. Here, mutual shareholder ownership across the bank is high enough, and it can be concluded that the shareholder of the banks have interest in achieving maximum amount of profit. Now concluding the presentation, I would like to say something. Based on the understanding derived, it could be understood that the retail market in Australia mainly ruled by the monopolistic market. The manufacturing, retail and the banking sector, on the other hand, are mainly dominated by the oligopolistic competition. Based on the study, it could be reported that in the monopolistic market situation, the segments like the retail sector would profit in short run, but this will not survive in long run as several new markets entrants are increasing, and it would rapidly rise to oligopoly. However, in case of banking scenarios in Australia, it has been reported that only a limited number of firms dominate the market. Therefore, there are